Welcome back. The first of Pool D action here on pitch 1. China versus Hammerhead Sevens. We're underway. Already, look, China retain the ball off kickoff. We've seen that sometimes reaps rewards for teams. Does it do the same for China at the moment? Penalty. And it's going to be a quick tap. Zhang wide, and Yinghao with a big pass over. Oh, he's just spilt his dinner. Jihuan could not capitalise. We're going to have a scrum. Kick made by Hammerhead, one of the first that we've seen in this competition. The boot not being utilised as much as we'd probably assume. It's Hai Zhao who made that run. Space out wide, pass just new for Jihuan. Inside ball. Aoki scores. Tom alongside me, we've seen that if you have the ball, you're going to score with this China side.
Yeah, great work to move that ball into the space here on the right-hand side. And it's just about finishing that off, isn't it, and getting into the corner. Good support, good work together, and good pace allowed them to get over the whitewash.
Something we've seen in a lot of sides, but especially in this China team. They had a few bites of the cherry there, but managed to stay patient and not sort of frustrate themselves into creating too many errors, and that's absolutely key in a tournament such as this.
Yeah, it really is something that myself and Angus was talking about earlier on, that biding your time really can work to your advantage as you look at China here, just moving that ball into that space. Great option to cut inside, and despite the strong defence and the tackles, you just get over the ball.
That ball high into London skies, and China managed to retrieve it back, and they go to the races. Hai Zhao. Referee blows her whistle. There's an infringement at ruck time. And,
China just biding their time here once again, collecting themselves, organising themselves before they look to move that ball into space. And they're opting for this right-hand side again.
There's Jihuan who tried to retrieve it. Just didn't work out. And that last pass just failing them. Hammerheads have barely had a sniff of things at the moment. It's been all China in this first period.
They definitely know where to try and find that space, just unfortunately they weren't able to capitalise.
Hammerhead, ball fed in by a picture-perfect mullet, I must say. And, they're slightly caught in their own 5 metres, and the ball flung out wide. And trying to dart back in. Forward pass though. And you've got to imagine this is going to be an area for China to be able to lick their lips. Promising opportunity to plant a counter, try and get another score on the doors.
We've already seen how deadly scrums can be, drawing those defenders in and creating that space.
Zhang. He scores. An easy finish, but it was almost created by Hammerhead shooting themselves in the foot as they're slightly trying to play out of their own half. And Zlajun says, thank you very much. I'll take it from here. Another score for China to double their advantage. Conversion to come. Just fades to the right. Nevertheless, they've still got their foot in the door with regards to this fixture. Straight off the deck, and it's just quick mind, quick feet. Gets them over the whitewash.
Another opportunity now to capitalise off of a kickoff. It's a high ball.
Those kickoffs have been absolutely fantastic. And it might work out here still. Jihuan stepping, offload, intercepted. Hammerhead with ball. Maybe a bit of time and space as well. Something they've been starved of in this opening period. And away they go. Offload's good. Will they race into the corner? It's a great tackle by China. Collisions thumping across Hazelwood, and spaces here and provided by China. Ball's been knocked on. It was the first chance we got to see Hammerhead really stretch their legs and showed that they won't really need a second invitation.
Yeah, they're really trying to get that ball up there, and they tried their best, but it was a really strong defence. Great work to keep pushing back to make sure they made that cover tackle. And despite the offload and the efforts from Hammerheads, they weren't able to find that space. And soon, the bodies from China just mounted around. And once again, that defence was strong. It will be a scrum to Hammerheads now, though.
Another attacking opportunity. They've got lots of space out wide here. See how this scrum works out first, though. It's good. Slightly on the back foot, Hammerhead, and they're going to have to pick their options wisely. That red wall fronting up.
And great work to get the turnover there as well. Trying to go quickly, but just not on the mark. So the referee brings them back to take the penalty properly, and they compose themselves a little bit here.
We're into the red. Zlajun wide, and good feet from Al-Kui. He's already got one. Will he get another? He will. He'll trot into the corner. Not without a slight bit of disruption at the end from Hammerhead, but that's their third within the first period of play, and Al-Kui's second.
Just shows again how they can pounce really quickly, finding that gap, getting the pace, and they are gone. And Hammerheads, despite their efforts, unable to chase them down and get them. A wide conversion here, so just not getting it over.
And that brings the first half to a close. Well, we've seen periods of Hammerhead flourish, but at the moment it has all been China. 2 scores from Huang Aoqi, as well as one from Wu Zhilajun as well. Puts the score at 15-0 at half-time.
So about to get back underway here in the second half. China in the lead, 15 points to 0 over the Hammerheads. Hammerheads showing some bits of promise, just not being able to get over that line. So hopefully for them, they can do something from the kickoff here.
It's taken well by China, and they're on the front foot again. It's the restarts that have been absolutely crucial to their 15-point advantage. There they go, Jila-Ike.
Just once again, that support and the offload is allowing China to unleash their fast players down the outside, just evading all of those defenders.
Can whip it racing down the touchline, and they start the second half as they ended the first with 5 points. Lajun. Kicks not on the money today. Nevertheless, it's not like they need them at the moment with a healthy 20-point cushion. Offload play, as Tom mentioned there, just unleashing that extra bit of space, almost creating an 8th man on the field. Shuo kicks off.
Once again, going for that high kickoff, maybe just a little bit deeper than they would have liked.
Hammerheads trying to switch the focus of play. That ball not as accurate as they probably would have liked. Forward as well.
So another attacking opportunity for China off of the scrum. This one a little bit further out than the last time. But last time they were able to go over and score straight away. So they'll definitely be thinking that they can do that again. And certainly making the lives of the Hammerheads a little bit more difficult, trying to work out what is coming next.
Rajan under considerable pressure, illegal pressure though. Here he goes, sets away, offload, is that good? Ball's been knocked on. It'll be Hammerhead ball, a rare error from the China side, and the cavalry has arrived, all change for the men in red. When they've got this sort of 20-point lead, Tom, you can't sort of, you can't blame them for potentially shifting and trying to put on some fresher legs to close out this game.
Yeah, definitely. They want to give some more players the opportunity as well. It's early stages of day 2 here, so they'll be wanting to make sure that they can give everyone the equal opportunity, so when they get later on in that competition, they know which side is going to be the best option for them.
Hammerheads released into a bit of space, still going.
Really well to avoid the tackle initially, in that last-ditch tap he took into ground.
If his head's touching the floor, how can it be?
Shuo. Space out wide, boy.
Your ball! Yes! Come on! See what's fucking hell! Hit him!
TK. Shuo again. And they're going to fling it back the other way.
Get ready to go on for
Scalping. Just ball in one hand and looking to shrug off defenders. Flung out wide. Ji Huan.
Hold that offload, that's good.
See how China were just moving backwards then, biding their time, trying to find that space. And as soon as it was there, they took it and got themselves up to near the 22. And now they've found the gap. And, oh, great pickup. Is the tackle going to stop him getting the try? No, it doesn't.
Great work from Shuo. He managed to put boot to ball, found that little bit of space in behind, and had the peace of mind to dot it down after the last-ditch cover tackle from Hammerhead.
Yeah, tried his best there to roll over and hold him up, but wasn't able to.
That conversion's good.
First one they've had under the stick, so trying to redeem himself there as we just watch the replay again as they move that ball from left to right all the way across the pitch, and it's just that knowledge and awareness of the space that's in behind. No sweepers in. You can see that last-ditch tackle, but he just keeps that momentum going, rolls over and dots the ball down. So great work from China there.
It's Wang Shuo who's on kicking duties all round now, and he goes for the high one. That one not with enough length on it. Didn't go 10, so Hammerheads will have a free kick on the halfway. Can they make that 0 a 5? Get some scores on the doors, potentially. It would all be consolation at this point, you'd assume, but nevertheless, it'd be a big confidence boost for them heading into the rest of this competition.
Trying to move that ball around a little bit more. Hammerheads trying to find that space, getting the offload in, and they've gone for the kick. But there is that cover from China, but it's not going to hand. He's opted to just boot it away over the dead ball line.
Slightly unorthodox Zlatike. Nevertheless, it's got the job done and got them out of danger for now. It'll be a 5-metre scrum. No, knowledge of the rules are correct. Yes, will be.
So the threat doesn't go away for long. And the Hammerheads have the opportunity here. 5 metres out for the scrum. They will want to move it into a bit of space now. Now that all these Chinese players are tied in.
Instead, they're going to try and go route 1. Signing against that initially. Good offload. One more. Oh, just doesn't go to hand. That last piece of the puzzle just not fitting into place for Hammerhead, and to make matters worse, they've conceded a penalty as well. Oh, and with the clock in the red, you'd imagine that Shuo will be looking for touch rather than trying to tap and go.
Not sure if the referee has indicated time or not, but they haven't opted to tap before they kick it to touch, so it will be a line out to China. Bang on, they're 22.
Just waiting for a ball. There it is. Not long left to go, I'd assume. China going through the motions. Shuo's been the heart of everything since he came onto the pitch.
I think China are here, Will. They don't want to stop. They're enjoying this game, I think, and they want to get one more on the scoreboard.
Ying Hao and...
Or maybe not.
Jia Boe, who says he's seen enough. They've done enough. China with a healthy 27 points to 0.
So you join us again. We remain in the men's competition. China against Ramblin' Jesters. China in the red, Ramblin' Jesters in their Harlequin-esque quarters. We've got a bit of a swap on the microphones. Tom Reed is gone, having a second lunch. Will Roberts, after his second lunch, returns.
Outing the fact that we're we're dining out at this lovely buffet that London Irish are offering us. But yeah, no, this is an all-important game. We're getting towards the business end of the group stages, and well, I did just have my second lunch with Dan Norton on the coaches in this China squad, who said that they lost out in their game versus the other team in this group, which has evaded me. Who was it? These groups get ever so confusing. Ah, yes, it was Scimitar Storm. So they lost out in that game, which means that basically the winner of this game goes through. So it's going to be interesting to see how they attack it.
Well, it should be a cracker. Two top teams. China got to the semi-finals a fortnight ago, of course. Ramblin' Jesters had a pretty decent run as well, and they've been looking very, very good today. We have seen some absolutely brilliant sevens today, haven't we?
We have. It's the fact that accuracy can still be this strong at this sort of time in the day. These boys fatigued, tired. Yeah, the quality so far hasn't dipped.
Absolutely. Jesters controlling possession in the early stage. We saw this in the last game they played. Controlled the first 2 minutes of possession and got a try at the end of it. Will we see similar here against China? Showing plenty of patience as they start to have a little look wide. Cut back inside in that classic sevens style.
It's nice off the deck just to keep it alive, but that rush defence from China. We speak a lot about defensive intelligence. You look at the 15s game, someone like Chris Harris is probably famed for it nowadays, being able to read plays, and in sevens that threat is well, it's doubled considering you have half as many people on the pitch. So the fact that they can read plays such as that and execute and get a scrum off it is just paramount.
Yeah, and it's a high risk, high reward play, but it's a bigger reward than you get in 15s because when you close that space, although there's a lot of space for you to fill as a defender, if you can make the tackle as we saw there, you're almost guaranteed the turnover, as China capitalise on having made that turnover, as Huang Oki gets himself across the try line. And from a game that's begun with Jesters dominating the ball, it's China that opened the scoring in this all-important clash for a place in the Cup quarter-finals.
Aoki scored a brace in their game that finished 27-0 against the Hammerheads, and well, he's picking up where he left off with an excellent score there, just using his nice turn of pace. And well, it's been all Rambling Jesters in the first 2 minutes. They received nothing for it. China get one sniff into the 22, and well, they come out with 5 points. So it really shows the ruthlessness of this China side.
Certainly does. Conversion just slides right. But as we look at this try again, it comes straight from that scrum that was as a result of that brilliant bit of defensive play. And it's just that classic sevens line from the outside, cutting back inside. It's not really meant to be a try-scoring line, but such was the power through the tackle of Aki that it became a try-scoring line. Penalty Jesters, though. China just too over-eager to try and turn the ball over from the kickoff. So Ramblin' Jesters will have a trundle from inside their own 22. Shown good patience in possession so far. Will they get some rewards from it? No, they won't this time.
It was good work from Wolfelder initially, sort of sucked in 3 or 4 defenders, got the offload away, and just that slight lapse in concentration that cost them. But there was space out there for Rambling Jesters. I feel as though this game could end up being really close to properly good sides.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes errors just happen, but I wonder, what do you think about in a scenario like that? Perhaps the support needs to be a bit deeper to allow that offload to be just sort of lobbed up and you can move on to it rather than trying to catch it behind you.
Depth is just crucial in the game of sevens. It really is, and you're sort of seeing it there. Players need to be timing their runs perfectly. You've got far more space, and it almost potentially when players are switching from 15s to 7s, it might feel quite unnatural to be at such depth and be forcing such long, deep passes. But in the long run, it really does sort of help a team. And I think players just need to adjust to that coming into the 7th season off the back of a long 15s campaign.
The sun comes out again behind our backs. Jesters are under real pressure from this Chinese defence, which is pressing so hard and contesting the breakdown. They've shoved 4 men into that and turned it over. The only problem for them is there are no men left out wide as a result, but they still get across the line. That China defence causing so many problems to Jesters, and rewards them with a second try, and it's Li Haijiao this time. Four men thrown into the breakdown. I thought there was no space due to a lack of players, but Haijiao found a way to get across the try line. Conversion won't stick, so it's just a 10-0 lead. But we see here it's a relatively controlled ruck, but China just seized the opportunity, thrust 4 men towards that breakdown, and then Haijiao cuts a cracking line across and gets himself over the line for a 10-0 lead.
Now Ramblin' Jesters need a response. Been under the cosh for the past 2 minutes or so, but probably need a bit of ball in China's half. That might remedy this situation. Oh, that's good. It's Wolfelder again, who will he be caught? It's going to become a foot race, and I think Chris Wolfelder's going to win it out.
A timely score for Ramblin' Jesters, and a handoff to create the try in effect.
Yeah, he's been really, really strong, has Chris Wolfelder. He really has. He's created 2 or 3 in the first game that we saw of theirs on pitch 1, scored 1 as well, and this time, it's unlucky with the conversion, but he's halved China's deficit going into half-time.
We see this, the move started on the Jesters try line, and it was Felder who then went fully 70 metres, showing great pace at first, great strength to hold off the first tackle, and then a brilliant fend to create the space, and it sends the 2 teams in at half-time. China 12, Ramblin' Jesters 5, or in fact, China 10, Ramblin' Jesters 5. Okay then, we are just about ready for the second half. China against Rambling Jesters. China leading 10-5. And it's China that kicked off, and it's not gone 10, so we'll have a free kick. Rambling Jesters, it had been 10-0 China, but a late try in the first half from Rambling Jesters brought them right back into this game.
I just wonder when China are going to use Wang Shuo. He's been sitting on the bench at the moment, but was absolutely excellent in that first game that they played against the Hammerheads. Really came on and controlled the game well. Would probably be replacing Wu Zhilangzhong as well. So it'd be interesting to see whether he gets utilised.
I have to say, I'm very impressed with your pronunciations. That's outstanding work.
Going to a boarding school with quite a lot of Chinese boys means that you sort of end up picking things up here and there, but hopefully it's... I've probably got it all wrong, actually. I say that. I'm sure someone will shout at me somewhere. It's part of the job, isn't it?
Absolutely. Rambling Jesters, part of their job is to get on the score sheet really early in this second half, and they so nearly got away there.
That offloading game, really strong stuff. They deserve a score here.
Having a dart down the left-hand side now. It's Chinese defence, though. It really does not slip up very often at all. They've given away the penalty there, and Jesters go quick, and Jesters get the reward instantaneously. And out of nowhere, this game has suddenly gone from 10-0 to 10-all.
Yeah, it's just the manipulation that is being used by the Rambling Jesters at the moment. Being able to move effectively from one wing to the other, those cuts back on the inside, the switches, the manipulation in the middle of the field. That's the way that I think you have to get around this red wall, because it is extremely strong when it's at full strength. So it'll be interesting to see how they get back into this game, China.
Certainly will, and great interest in what's going on over on pitch 2 in this group deciding set of games. Rambling Jesters are using some of their injured players to run between pitches and try and keep abreast of what's going on. China, it would appear, just focusing on the job in hand, try and get the win here. They're 2 points down now, having led 10-0. Dan Norton and Tom Biggs, part of the coaching setup here, and you can see the influence of two such quality players on this side because they are playing with such an intense attitude.
Just seem to be giving it all, really, and just coherence between the side. I mean, they seem to have been playing with each other for a few weeks now. They've got this unity together, and you can definitely see that especially when it comes to defence. They're one and the same. They really are.
Yeah, the defence is the striking thing about this side. They're just so connected and put so much pressure on you.
Now, I wonder if, and he's just crept into your screens, number 12, Noah Ferdinand, be able to change that. He's got an electrifying step, good feet as well, and obviously a large frame and stature for a player who usually would find himself in the back three of a 15s game, so it'd be interesting to see if he can potentially change something.
And currently wearing a scowl that suggests he means business.
Yeah, he'll be wanting to prove himself, I'm sure. Got an injury over that far side. I think it's Zhu Bing, who's just going to take some time out.
Jesters just about win the line out. Step back inside. Sadly, this is the name we can't read on the Jesters team sheet because he's been absolutely brilliant all day today. As Jesters go darting and weaving and bobbing and diving, they're everywhere down that left-hand side. But it's a penalty, China.
Oh, that's costly. can't get isolated in the game of sevens. That's just what happened there. And Chinese players just clamping onto the ruck, ensuring that they claw out a penalty.
Round about 2 minutes to play here. Anybody's game at the moment. China fighting to make their way across the gain line. Wind picking up here at Hazelwood as Jesters go on the attack. I thought I'd heard a whistle, but it was on a different pitch.
Oh, they're so close.
Turned over by China though. China looking to go. Little over a minute to go. And they've got another penalty. Jesters had their hands on the floor before they went for the ball.
This is surely it. They can't really give up possession from now up until reaching the try line, pretty much. They've got a minute or so, just under, to try and get some points on the board. Any points will do. It's just the last thing that they would have wanted, China.
It's a surprising lack of composure, that, because if there's one thing I would associate with this Chinese side, it's real composure in all of the decision-making that they have. And just there, they've lost that little bit of composure there, and they've gone into touch. The good news for them is there is time for the line out, so if they can contest it, they may just have a chance. They don't get it from the line out though. Jesters have it. And Jesters are looking for another try, and there could be another try. There's space down the left-hand side, and Jesters are almost certainly going to be going through. It's Jack, someone from Cardiff Met.
Once again, you've got to say that Crystal Felder had a big part to play in that. Amazing work from him to just be able to create those 2-on-1s. We speak of that a lot in sevens, trying to isolate the play and get the offload off. He does that superbly at loop pass, meaning that our man Jack doesn't have to break his stride at all to be able to canter home into the corner and put the game to bed for Rambling Jesters.
Yep, Rambling Jesters get the win. Conversion doesn't go, although the referee looks as though he's trotting back. We may have time yet. Well, there isn't time for China to win it, I don't think, but there is time to level it up at 17 apiece. I was convinced the referee was going to blow for full time.
I think a few of those injuries may have changed potentially the way this game is timed.
So China looking for the draw. Do the first bit and gather the kickoff. Big wide pass. Plucked out of the air like a wide receiver in American football, but it's intercepted by Rambling Jesters. Surely now they play out the clock. They do indeed, and dink the ball into touch. Rambling Jesters get the win. 17 points to 10 against China. We're pretty sure that sends Rambling Jesters through to the quarterfinals of the cup competition. We've got one more game left before the break. Lionesses against the Hammerhead Barbarians in the women's competition. Then we've got a 20-minute break. And after that, we should have a full schedule for the afternoon for you, including the men's cup quarterfinals, the plate competition, and the remaining bits of the women's competition. We'll be back with you with that final game before the break.
Welcome back to pitch 1. We're now playing for some silverware. It's China versus the Navy to decide who will be victorious in this plate competition. Both teams had strong mornings. We would have expected China to be competing in fact for the plate. Instead it's the for the cup. Instead it is the plate that they will fight for against the Navy. Some strong competition, an international contest, and at the end of the road, a trophy to be won. China receive a penalty, and to double it down, it's a yellow card. It's a little bit silly, that, from Kurusara. He's put on the naughty step for 2 minutes. So China will have the numerical advantage, and Zhilazhong utilising Boe. Boe still going, flings it out wide, bit of a hospital pass, but it's collected in the end by Jihuan. Bencho. Jihuan into the corner. He will scamper home. There Jihuan gets the score, and China take the advantage both on the score sheet and on the field, with that yellow card still in full effect. That's the break that's made. Well finished off by Jihuan. So Zhilazhong gets us back underway. The wind has slightly picked up here in southwest London, as you can probably see by that restart attempt. It's not favourable. Good offload to find Dakuliga. Quick tap by Dobson. Ball been fumbled though. That's Wrigglesford, who just couldn't collect. Rocco Kurusara's sentence has indeed been served. He rejoined us. The Navy only conceding 5 points during his absence. The worst being a man down, now that they're back to a full complement. China, though, that might not affect them. It will be Zhilazhong who finishes it off, but Hu Zhenye, the catalyst for that. A great score. Good support line, and I'm sure we'll have a look at it after Zhilazhong nails this conversion, which he does. Let's see where that try came from. Well, once again, it's off set piece, and Zhilazhong just setting Zhenhe away, and those tired shoulders and really coming into full effect in the final game of this competition for both of these sides. And China double their advantage. High into the sky, collected well. That's Kurusara who started things off there, trying to make amends for his early blunder. Ball dug out. Kurosara again. Spread wide this time. Potentially go back the other way. China look to jam up and compress that red wall. Penalty though, infringement. Bit too over ego. Kurosara again, and ball flung out wide for Dobson, and here's Dakoliga. Dobson picks up the pieces. Lajon with the tackle. Kurosara again, trying to play it off the deck. Doesn't really work out. Instead, it's Too Good who dabs the ball through, and oh, this will work out quite nicely. It does just that. Well, sometimes you need a bit of luck and the bounce of the ball to go your way for Ben Chamber. That's exactly what just happened. The kick just dabbed through, and, well, it was Chamber who picked up the pieces fairly nicely. Ball stabbed through by Jay Too Good. And it's a horrible slip and fumble for Ji Huan. Back underway at 10-5. We'll sap back. The Navy have it once more. Too Good. Latest try scorer, Chamber. Still going, Chamber. Bit of deceit to try and manipulate defenders. And speaking about manipulation, it's the China's hot stepper, TK. Ball inside to Yinghao. He falls to the deck. Too Good collects the ball. Illegally though. China have the penalty. Need to take it from the right spot though. TK. Yinghao. Ben Cho. Here's Zhlajun. The cut back on the inside, and Ji Huan offloads. An excellent score. Well, China were put under the cosh by Navy's try, which we thought would close out this first half. Instead, it's China who get the last word before the halftime Oranges with their third try of this plate final. The first one was scored by Ji Huan, this one set up by him. Finishing touches added. The conversion not though. Let's have a look at how this was scored. Temperance the key. Yinghao, Ben Shou and Zhlajun all involved. That cut back on the inside, just manipulating defenders, opening up some gaps, and in the end, providing a crucial 5 points for China. They lead at half-time. It's Navy 7, China 15. These players now entering the final 7 minutes of what has been an extremely tiring day for all here at the London Irish leg of the Super 7 series. Dig deep, boys. 7 minutes left to go. It's China's Ji Huan who's been ever present, who collected it initially, but instead it's a penalty to the Navy. Doubt that Wrigglesworth will waste any time. He doesn't. Too good. Ball out to Dobson. Could this work out? Chamber tried to keep himself in play. Just slipping and crossing the whitewash ever so slightly. How's that line out? The Navy have nicked it. And they're going. Can they make it all the way? Dalcolia. Ball by Wrigglesworth. Hit back. They've got the penalty advantage though. It's Mallet. Has he got there? Yes, he has. Ben Mallet scores. That brings us to a 3-point game. This conversion to come from Chamber. That's good. Oh, we've got a final on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. It's exciting times. It was all from that line-out steal. It was Darkoliga who rose highest, and in the end, Ben Mallet reaping the rewards of his fellow forwards' good work. So, Gao Bing, he's just recently rejoined us. He wears 1. So, Zenye. Ball flung out wide, and here's TK. TK still going. He's got one man to beat. Wrigglesworth versus TK, who will win out. TK wins. They had the most slender of leads, which has just been extended by an extra 5, courtesy of their hot stepper, Zla TK. What an excellent score that was. Zlajon gets the conversion as well to extend that deficit, but let's have a look at how that was created. Well, the space was identified out wide, and it's just that stop and go again, and then backed himself with that little hitch kick to evade the tackle of Wrigglesworth, and in the end supplied China with a full 7 points and a meat pie to go with it. That separates them by 8. 3.5 minutes to go. Dan Norton is watching on impatiently on the sidelines. He knows, he's been in these sort of positions before. He knows how deep his Chinese team must have to dig now to try and get something out of this game. The Navy ushered out of touch. And it's looking more and more like it will be a Chinese victory here, but we've seen stranger things occur in the game of sevens. That is, of course, the beauty of this shortened format. Anything can indeed happen. Anything will happen. And I'm sure you've still got a few twists left in this tale. Excellent line out, though. Zlajon. Not wide, and Zenye cutting back inside, trying to release his hand to get the offload away. Doesn't work, and it's going to be whipped out wide here. Here's Gao Bing with his striding big gait, trying to unlock defences. Straight through the gap. Jiwan potentially seal the deal. Offloads it. Wu Jun gets in the corner. I pretty much know that that is the game. The cavalry has been imported. "90 seconds left of this game. This conversion, I'm sure, will take us to under 60. And if it's made, which it isn't, nevertheless, it's a 13-point game. The Navy will need 2 converted scores in 60 seconds if they want to get their hands on any form of silverware. That looks all but impossible. Flajun just buying some extra vital seconds. The Navy collect. Trying to head through the gap. This Chinese defence has held so strong, it's probably got them to this position in the competition. The opportunity to fight for some silverware due to their ferocious defence, which is proving to suffocate the life out of this Navy attack, who themselves have done so well to get to this position. Nevertheless, it does look like China will walk away with all the spoils. We're officially into the red. 14 minutes have been played via our watch. Shlajun looking for the icing on the cake. Can they get it out wide? TK for the corner. He'll get there. Only fitting that it is TK who scores the final try. China will walk away with the plate. So the Lions and Karuta, who are battling it out for the bowl at the same time as well. Looks like that will be decided ever so soon. But, well, we have our first piece of silverware to be handed out. It will go to China for their characterful display in the final. They prevail against the Navy Sharks. Final score here, Navy Sharks 14, China 32.
Thanks to Will Roberts commentating throughout the day. Got to rush off to get a train. So it will be myself that will see you through for the last 2 games here on pitch 1 of the Well Hydrate Super 7 Series. Next up, we have got a huge match, the Men's Cup Final. Hong Kong versus Apache. That will be followed by the Women's Cup Final. 2 huge games.